What is going on, everybody? I am back with a brand new video, and today we are at Arthur O. Fisher going to play all 18. This is going to be kind of an inside the head of an amateur player. I'm looking to shoot right around 6 or 7 under is kind of the idea. Sometimes this course gets really windy, which makes that difficult. If we can get to like 9 or 10 under, I'd be very happy with that. But maybe 5 to 7, I guess, 6 to 7 would be a pretty decent round for me. Hole 1, 525 feet. This one is hit or miss for me. We got a headwind, so I'm gonna go with a little bit more stable of a Zeus, excuse me. Wow, the wind didn't do anything to it. We'll be lucky if that's in bounds. I was expecting the wind to do something to that, and it didn't at all. And I'm pretty sure that's gonna be out of bounds. It hit the OB path and skipped hard left. I just cannot believe that it didn't like flip up a little. Already off to a bit of a bad start. Skipped way OB. I assume it went out right around here. Luckily, this is a par 4. I was able to go out of bounds and still get a par. Hole 2 is ideally where we want to start our day. Par 4, 530 feet, slightly downhill. I just need a decent drive in the middle of this field. Don't need a ton of distance because we can just go zone for the approach shot. I'm gonna go with that same Zeus. It's gonna be a little left, but I'm really not that worried about it. You know, for maybe a normal person, someone that's a little bit more backhand dominant, I think it makes sense to go backhand over the OB and fade in. For me, that's just not that consistent of a shot, unfortunately, even though it should be an easy shot. So this is where my jawbreaker zone comes in handy, because I can pretty much throw this right at the basket and it should stay there. I'm gonna fade a little. Hole 3 is a little bit of a pump. You can see the band of the basket. Uphill 370 feet. We're gonna switch it up this time and go with my slightly more understable Zeus. Not super understable, but hopefully I can get this thing to flip up a little bit. That's gonna be too low. That's an awful shot. Jawbreaker zone is gonna have a lot of work to do today, it looks like. But that's okay because I love throwing that disc. It's so easy for me. Only if I could throw a zone like 400 feet on a forehand. That's the only disc I'd ever need. Hole 4 would be more of a bonus birdie for me, 370 feet. For whatever reason, I usually can't hit this gap here. Now, the other day, I did go up and over and left myself with like a 30-footer. I just don't know if I have that power today. Oh, I just yanked it a little. I kind of feel a little confident that we can actually kind of give this a run. I'm gonna go with my Z zone here on a little flex. And like I said, I'm gonna give this a little baby run. Maybe. We hit the basket. I guess if I can give it a forehand run like that every time, then I'm okay. Just coming up a little short, maybe we'll get birdie anyway. Hole 5, 485. We got OB road and beyond. Anything on the left side is safe. Once again, I feel like we got a little bit of a headwind. I don't know if it's a little swirly today. I'm gonna go with my Macbeth Zeus here. Aiming for the center of the fairway, but anything left is gonna do okay. As long as this doesn't turn over into the road, we should be able to get up and down. A little bit more windy than I wanted. I'm gonna flip this to my Halo Wraith. Flipped up the flat. It's gonna be way left. Kind of a short par 4, 485 feet. One that's in between par 3, par 4, I would say. And you'll kind of see a lot of that on this course, just because I think they tried to use the land the best they could, but there's only so much that they had. So we ended up with some shorter par 4s, but that's okay. I'm not complaining. Now down here, it feels like a left to right wind. I'm gonna go with my Z zone. Basically put it over that little bush on the left side and have it hyzer in. Oh, you got a hyzer. Okay, I put it right at the bush. So I definitely could have went a little straighter at that. The wind kind of messed with it because I put it so high, a little wobbly. Hole 6, a little doinker, 275. You can either go hyzer on the right side or you can go up and over with a forehand on the left. I won't lie to you, the forehand is a little tempting right now, but the hyzer is so open. As long as we don't short arm it, I think we'll be okay. You try to go Thunderbird, a little stable. That way, if it does get on edge, hopefully it skips to the basket. It's not that far, 275. I think that's the biggest mistake I have on this hole. Because it's not too far, a lot of times I short arm it. Yep, short armed it. Damn it. I'll give us a long jump putt. A little annoying just because it's so close, but I really feel like that happens to me the majority of the time, which makes me wonder if I should just put like a nice overstable mid in my bag and throw it really hard. That way it's distance control, but it should still get left. Maybe throw a Malta in my bag, or even throw zone here, to be honest with you. But then if I throw it too low, I don't get really any ground play. Doesn't matter. Let's go. That was a good putt. Hole 7, 240 feet. You can either go straight at it, or there's a little left side hyzer gap forehand. Personally, I like to hit the left side forehand route. Overall, this needs to be pretty straight. The biggest thing is the ceiling, so I want to keep this kind of on a line drive and hopefully allow the disc to get on edge and skip to the basket. Oh, just kidding. I'm going straight at it. Dig, dig. All right, we'll have a little bit longer of a putt than we just had. Luckily though, I just made one of these. Almost identical putts here. Try to give it the same spin I just did. Come on, Max. Kind of dialed in right now. I mean, the drives are a little all over the place, but the putt is helping us. All right, we got hole 8, another par 4, 475 feet, blind tee shot. But really the first tee shot just needs to get out into the open field, and then you have a 250-foot upshot. We got a headwind coming straight at us, so I'm just gonna go with the captain's Raptor. That way I know it's not gonna get messed with. A little bit of Anheuser, straight headwind, doesn't do anything to it. Clear disc into the blue sky. I apologize about that, but if you couldn't see it, just know that it was money. I can also tell it's getting a little bit windier, and the back 9 is not in the woods at all. It's quite open, so that is gonna cause a little bit of trouble, I assume. Get over there, go in. Oh, I crushed it. I thought that thing was on track to go in the basket, and it's like 20 feet past the basket. Hopefully we can have a putt out of there. It's probably gonna suck though. Low-key, I have a putt and there's a window right here. I'm trying not to foot fault. Hopefully this is legal. Go in. Oh, that's kind of unfortunate. This is definitely one you want to get. Oh man, if we would have made that though, that would have been something. Hole 9, 260 up on that little hill. The wind's blasting us with the left to right now. I've been in this situation before, and last time I threw Captain's Raptor just a little bit on the right side, and the wind held it super straight. I have to throw this extremely hard, make sure it is right side, but I think the wind will hold it relatively straight if it keeps up. Yeah, it just kind of dies. Oh, yes. You know, the only reason I was able to pull that shot off was because I've been on this tee pad with a left to right and I've thrown that disc and it did exactly what it just did. Otherwise, I would have tried to throw less stable, more of a hyzer angle, and the disc wouldn't have gotten back in time because of the wind. So super happy that I actually had experience with that shot and we pulled it off to perfection. Based on throwing hole 9, hole 10 is going the opposite direction. So even though we can't feel wind on the tee pad because it's a little guarded, out there in the fairway, it should be a right to left. So we don't want to throw too straight because that wind could potentially put us in the water up on the left side. In fact, I actually kind of like the thought of throwing forehand kind of toward the pond, which should hyzer in slightly. Then we might have an upshot zone that kind of goes over the pond to the basket. Yeah. We do have that water on the left side, and then we actually have OB path on the right. So this shot needs to be semi-safe. I'm gonna go forehand, jawbreaker zone, basically right at it. Hopefully not a whole lot of fade. If I do go OB, just try to push it long enough where we have a putt still for par. Don't turn it over early. Oh. Yeah, right in the water. You can see the disc right there. I assume it went out right about here. Take our par. A little frustrated with that. We got par. I just would love the birdie here. Got away from me a little bit. Hole 11, 675 feet, way down there. Seems like right here there's either no wind or a slight tailwind. I'm just gonna go with my white Zeus here. Keep it simple. Put this right down there by that middle tree. If it's a little right, we can go hyzer. If it's a little left, we can go straight at the bucket. That's gonna be way left. I did want a little bit more flip up out of it than that. If you guys are enjoying the content, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. This is one of the first times I've done all 18 holes, full 18 hole round. If you like this type of content, let me know down in the comments. It seems like you guys enjoy when I talk about my game plan, so that's kind of what we're out here doing. Hope you enjoy it. Landing a little left here actually opens this gap up pretty wide. I think I can go pushing hyzer at this. Got a little bit of a low ceiling, definitely a tailwind out here. I'm thinking Athena, little flat, maybe a tiny bit of hyzer. Oh, that's gonna hit that tree. Hole 12, 310 feet. Very low ceiling off the tee, which is why I like to go hyzer forehand into the basket. The thing with the forehand is you have to land right of those pines, otherwise you will be very cut off and won't have a putt. That might be really good. Dig. Oh man. We are throwing some quality shots today, fellas. Absolutely pinned for what I think is 6 under. Hole 13 is super simple, 335 feet. Dead straight out there. You know, I think what's making this hole the most difficult, especially at the moment, is the wind we have. Again, left to right, so I'm thinking stable on the right side. Should keep it pretty straight. There is OB left, so I don't want to leak out too far. Oh. Very straight, it held. I don't think there was a whole lot of trust in the disc there. It did hold straight like I had mentioned, but I still yanked it right thinking it was gonna hook heavy. Hyzer. Hole 14 is an island green, 250 feet. Got a little bit of a tail left to right. I think I'm gonna go Captain's Raptor here. Honestly, just because it's a little bit of a distance control disc as well as to fight the wind. You're gonna have to still throw it pretty hard. Oh, that's not even over. So my Captain's Raptor never cleared, and I think tournament they might play this as a drop zone. So I could be cheating right now, but I'm just gonna take it right here. We're still dropping in a bogey. Hole 15, 630 feet. Basket's way down there. Definitely want to get a little bit of a flip up here and leave this as far down the fairway as possible. That way our upshot isn't too demanding. That should be okay. Slipped a little on the pad. All right, so this was actually a little bit of a bomb. I'm wondering if when it got on fade, if that wind helped carry it down here. Due to the wind and distance, I think this is a little too far for zone. So I'm just gonna throw a Firebird left side and hopefully watch it start fading to the basket. Kind of babied it. I think we're still sitting at 5 under par with 1 bogey, that bogey coming from the shortest hole of the day. I've kind of cooled off from the front 9. I went 5 on the front 9, and that's what we're still sitting at. Hopefully we can kind of turn that pace up on these last 3 holes. Hole 16, par 4, 530 feet. There is OB water on the right side here, just over this hill. So anything left would be great. That should work. Now it's got to skip. I'm not going to skip that much. I feel so cooled off right now. We're doing so good on the front 9, and then everything kind of just went plain Jane for me. Oh, at least it stopped. Hole 17, the pond is now on our right side. Par 4, 485. This tee shot, I'm just looking for a pretty straight Zeus that fades off to the left side at the end of its flight. Yeah, that's so good. Fade, fade, fade. Yes. Got a great skip at the end, which will set us up for hopefully an approach over the water. This basket is very tricky because it sits on a hillside. And so if you go past the basket, you'll probably be a good 30 feet away. You kind of want to land short on the hill, but not too short because you have pond. This wind is killer right now, just straight headwind. So I definitely want to make sure I push this past the pond. I would be okay if I'm 30 feet past this basket as long as I'm safe. I just turned it just a little. Gosh, I really need this putt. It's been such a boring back nine for me. Whoa. Barely able to squeak in the par putt. That scared me a little bit. That was a horrible run. I did not expect the wind to take it like that. Hole 18, 470 feet. I think I'm gonna go forehand. Wow, the wind bounce is crazy. The wind's helping me keep that centered though, and it also hit a couple branches. If you can do one good thing on this back nine, it's in this upshot right now. Sit at the basket. There we go. At least we'll end on a good note. Oh, I actually put that one a little low, kind of scared me a little bit. From what I remember, because I didn't use U-disc, I think we were 6 under with that birdie there. Honestly, I just went a little stagnant on the back nine, had that unfortunate bogey. I think that was just a misrelease out of the hand. Honestly, what I think contributed to a lot of my miscues was the wind. I think I played it for the most part really well, but when you get on this back nine, it's all open. There's nothing really blocking the wind, and I definitely think it played a factor into some of my decisions and some of the reasons I came up short and whatnot. But overall, not the worst round I could have played. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and we will see you in the next one.